Hello and welcome everybody. This is the June Stitch Along calendar. So I've got a few books out here, so I thought I would show you my thoughts on how I'm going to design my June Stitch Along, which is ribbon. I'll just get rid of my needle for a minute. So I've got Jennifer Clouston's few books and I've had a flip through. Some show a bit of ribbon, of what you can do with ribbon. There's a little bit down the bottom there, colonial knots. So you just have to look through and find sort of the pictures that you want, and then you just turn to the page where she shows you how to do that one. And the same with this, but you can see she's mixed crew wool with stranded cotton, pearl lay cotton and ribbon all together. Not that page, what is it here? Like this one here, you can see that she's mixed ribbon just in there and on those petals. There we go, there and there, and she's used ribbon for the roses as well. And then I had this other garden landscape in silk ribbon embroidery. So that's the garden landscape, but I think there's other designs in here. There's that one there. Yeah, so there's other designs here. She shows you what you require, and that's the design of what it's going to be. Step-by-step colour instructions and pictures. But I don't think there's a... There shows you the designs where they belong in the book. So I've started my panel, my slow stitch panel, stitch along thing. So I've got my white piece of fabric down and I've put lace over the top. But I also have drawn roughly sort of what the pattern I want it to be. I don't know about this yet. I was just doodling some flowers from her book. And this is, I have no idea what this is at the moment, but I quite like it. And then I'm going to have something sitting up the top there. And then this one here is a vase with, oh, I've rubbed it off with the iron, with flowers coming out the top using the ribbon. So that's the start of my, got a croaky throat, my June stitch along. So I have my cotton here. I don't know, I haven't tied a knot yet. So all I'm going to do here is invisible stitch the lace down. So I'll put some more pins back in. I wanted to show you what I was doing. So I'm going to have the lace on the top. All this will iron off later on when I put the iron onto it, but at the moment it's just a guide for me to know where I'm going with my project. So I've got 3 different laces on top of one another. Oh, actually, I should really cut that one because it's folded over. Did I cut it or just leave it? Oh, it's only a tiny little bit. I'll just leave it. I suppose it gives it a bit of texture. So to do invisible stitch, you just bring up your needle from the bottom with a knot at the back, and then you just do your tiny little stitches where possible, so you can't see them. So how is everybody? I hope you're doing well. Coming into winter now. I love coming into the winter after a hot summer. Doesn't look like there's any rain today. Our seasons are definitely changing. They seem to be a bit more sporadic. So when the kids were little, you could guarantee that you would get a good winter's rain. It would rain for days and days and days, but now it just seems to be raining here, there and everywhere. So you just do sort of a very small stitch at the front and a big long stitch at the back. And I'm sure you all know that, but just in case somebody's watching and they are new, they don't know what I'm doing. You just make sure you don't get your pins caught up in the stitch. Just turn it around, go back down, and then come up. Now I'm coming up on the sides, so that's fine. I'm not worried because I'll chop all that off anyway, but it certainly makes sure that it holds your piece down. Having a bit of trouble there, trying to white on white is can get a bit difficult. So I will do one more row along and then I will leave it here and I will come back when that's done and sort out what type of ribbon embroidery I'm going to be doing. I think the lace enhances the fabric of what you want to do. I'll show you in a minute what I mean. So that's done for now. On my January piece, this is how I'm going to put mine on. I enhanced the fabric with some lace on the back, for the background I should say. So I did some stitches here and you can see how it sort of gives it some lovely texture as well. If you didn't have lace, you could certainly use a doily. Whoopsie daisy. Let me have a look here. I've got a piece of doily there. I've got some fine doily. I don't think that's a doily actually. I think that might be a tablecloth. So you could even use, you know, a tablecloth, a white, and stick that down. And then you could stitch over the top of that with your ribbons. I have some of this here. Isn't this lovely? I didn't realise I had that in there. So that's pretty. You can cut off a square of that and stick that down as well. So there's lots of possibilities. By all means, go and look in second-hand shop. Ask your rellies. You know, if you don't have any lace, just find some old curtain lace, because curtain lace is very pretty. Lots of pretty curtain laces. All right, I'm going to leave it here and I'll be back. So here I am just about to finish the stems of my June, and I'm back from being overseas and I'm ready to get into starting off the June calendar. So what I've got here is a piece of ribbon, just a quite short piece, and I'm going to try and use that as best I can. So I've done some, underneath the lace, I've done drawing of the stem
with some flower petals coming out, and obviously the centre. And so let's see what I can do with this. I'm really not quite sure what I'm doing, but that's okay. I'm going to treat it like just thread. I possibly think I need a sharper needle, so let's put this one away and see if I've got something in here. Oh, that's a bit sharp, so that will do. Obviously the friction pen will iron off when I finished, but I'd have to just put it on very gently on warm so it doesn't burn my lace. We have one more to do from this piece of ribbon. Now this is Jennifer Clouston's set of ribbons. So here we are here. So it's come off one of these. I don't think it's that one, I think it's this one here. And then I have just random ones to the left, to the right of me. So I'm just going to finish this one, and all I'm going to do is to try and get rid of that. I'm going to stick that down behind there. So that doesn't look too bad. So let's get some more of that. I think it's this one here. Oh no, hang on. Just a minute. Let's get exactly what I need. It's this one here. Excuse me, I'm just a bit snuffly. Okay, let's get a piece of ribbon. I should have done that off camera. Now, I'm not sure if that's tangled up. I don't really want to make a mess of the ribbon. Well, there's a bit there. That's what I probably will use. Let's go that big. Just put that with the name. And you could use all sorts of different colours. I'm just going to put a little baby knot at the end, like that. And then I will thread through there. I'm going to go up, down, along there. Oh dear, it came out completely. Well, that didn't work, did it? All right, let's just tie a knot. How about we just do that? I don't know, I like to turn my work around this way. Can't remember what I was doing now. So, right. So I had a wonderful time on my holiday, and when you have seen this video, I'll have also gone to Kate in the Nests workshop with Fleur Woods. And so I assume I'm going to have quite a fun time. I'm going to go up to the end of the flower and stop there, and then I'll get myself sorted for the flower with the ribbon. Now, as you can see, I've got plenty of ribbon left. I'll just go down here underneath there just to hide it there like that. And then I will just feed it through the back, and hopefully it won't come undone. Just pull that tight. If you're not sure, you can always put a bit of glue on there and you won't see it because it's underneath the backing. All right. So, got these here. Quite like this, so let's give this a go. What I might do is get my iron and I will iron this and I'll come back. So I've come round to the last petal. I thought I would just give myself some practice of doing at least something on without doing it on the camera. So I got the grasp of what to do. So I'm just about to do the last petal of this flower. And I've left some space in between the petals so I could put a different colour in. And I've only got the tiniest little bit left, so I'm really happy about that. And I'm just going to come up the back. And I'm just going to weave a little bit of this, the rest of the ribbon. It's amazing how, since I haven't done a video for a whole month, how out of practice I feel. I feel like I'm starting all over again. But I'll find my feet, I'm sure. So all I've done is just done a little bit of that, and I'll just leave that there for now. If I wanted to, if you wanted to, or I wanted to, you could just drag underneath the petals. If it will do it. Just to secure it that little bit more. All right, so let's find another colour that will go with, that's nearly the same colour, but it's a bit thicker. I've got this here, but it may be too thick. I'll probably have to stick to these colours here. I've got a lovely yellow. I could do yellow for the centre. And I could do this and get rid of that. And we want another piece. I don't know what that's doing in there. We want another colour. I was actually thinking of, yeah, let's do that. Is that the same? I think so. All right. Well, actually, let's just stick with the two because I'm going to have the yellow in the centre, and we'll do this for something else. We'll do that for that one there. So again, I should have, there's a little piece there. I'll just turn my iron on because I need to quickly I'm just going to take all of it off, and I quickly need to iron it. There we go. I'll just do the other piece. Now don't have your iron too hot. And then I just pull underneath the iron, have the ribbon underneath the iron and just pull underneath, and it will flatten out with the heat. Because it is silk. Right. Let's figure out, there it is, where I put my needle. And again, I'm just going to tie the tiniest little knot at the end. I'm not actually sure if this is going to be big enough, but we'll see. I might just put it down here. So we go up in the edge of the center of the flower, make a loop, go back down where you came from, but not in the same hole, and then just go. What I might do is do shorter leaves on this one, and I might be able to get 2 out of that. There we go. Down we go here and come up into the next space. Make a loop, down, come up. Doesn't matter if it's not exactly the same, but as long as you're shorter than the other one. And sometimes they do curl over or make their own I was going to say flatness, but that's not the right word. You know what I mean? You're trying to get it flat, but they do their own thing. Right, so this is not long enough, so I'm just going to sew and weave in through the back. And then I could always tie this off here. There we go. And that looks pretty good. This one's quite long, but I'm not going to worry about it. So come up again into the next space. Make a little loop, go down and come up sort of 3/4 of the way. And go back down. So I'm going to leave you here and I'm going to go around and finish this off, and then I'll come back and show the centre. So I finished the flower, so let's create the next, I call this a vase, and so my poor little flower's on the lean, but it'll be all right. So I've got, now what I'm using is Jennifer Clouston's ribbons, and this is what I use for this one. And I used, I don't know what this one's called. Eucalyptus, and this one is, oh no, sorry, that's eucalyptus, and this one is maybe DL30, or eucalyptus as well, but different thicknesses. Oh, Charlie, my little Charlie boys decided to make a grumbly noise. So this is a vase, and that's a vase, and that's just a plant. So I'm just doing stem stitch up as for the plant. Not the plant, the stem of the flower, I should say. Now I'm just using a chenille number 24. I find the thick ones fine, but sometimes they're a bit hard to get through. So the thin one, the higher the number, the smaller the eye, and so this fits quite well. It is a little bit difficult because there's a lot of layers, but it's not as hard as the other one. So I'm just doing stem stitch all the way up the vase, and you can see that the vase has some black ink, which is my friction marker. I'm not measuring my, I can't remember what it's called now, this stitch. Stem stitch. I'm just going the way I want it to go, and I'm not thinking about how complicated the ribbon's going to be. I'm treating it as cotton, to be honest. There are some things that you might not be able to do, but I wasn't afraid of using ribbon. I just never have used it, but I actually quite like it. I think it's a really nice feeling, and it sits quite nicely. Now I'm sort of going towards, I should have gone up that way. So let's see what happens when you need to undo the ribbon. It shouldn't be too difficult, but it does curl up. So you could probably just flatten it out with your fingernail, and it does that quite easily. So I want to go more towards that way. I think maybe I'll do a couple more. I want it to look like the flower's sitting up out of the vase. Let's turn it round. I still think there's one more to go. If you don't get it right the first time, it's easy just to pull it out. There we go. And to finish that off, I just go back down underneath so you don't see it, and then I just do a little bit of a knot over. Whoops. Now you can see my ribbon is starting to curl up. The only thing with the thinner eye of the needle is you don't always get it correctly in. There we go. Just cut the ribbon and start again. So I'm just going to go over there, through there, sorry, and back through and cut that off. I could transfer it, but I want to start at the bottom. So what I might do this time is I'll leave the stem, and let's think about doing some roses. Now I also have other ribbons, but I have these ribbons, but I think they're going to be too big. I have a lovely pink one here, or I have these ones here. They're quite nice. Let's just get these out. Should go for a different colour, shouldn't I? I'm not using threads, I'm using ribbon. So let's just stick to the ribbon. What's that there? That's the same. I think that's nearly the same colour. What has Jennifer got here? That's quite nice. What's on these? Now I've got this key ring thing to put my ribbons on. That's not too bad. That's more of a variegated one. You can buy these off the internet if you're looking for those. Right. I've just got to get her book one moment. I did have it here. I'm not sure where it's gone, but I'll get this one here. I've got crazy quilting, so hopefully there's like a daisy stitch there. I'm just hoping that there's like oh, isn't that lovely? Look at that. Oh, I could do that there. All right, let's get a bit of paper. No, let's find a bit of paper and put that in there. I was hoping to find like a rose. Maybe the index is at the front. I don't think this has ribbon in it. Maybe. Let me have a look. Oh, look at that. Isn't that lovely? That's ribbon. So teddies. This is Jennifer Clouston's book, so if you don't know, get online and have a look. Oh, isn't that lovely? Maybe I should make that next time. Right. Portuguese. Ribbon loop stitch. No, I don't want ribbon stitch. Ruched rose. That's what I want. Okay. Let me move that. So you've seen that there, ruched rose. I'm going to put that up there and let's have a go. I'll put that in there so I don't lose my page. Right, let's try this. Bring the ribbon to the surface and work A. Okay. Oh no, that's ribbon stitch. Hold the ribbon in the non-working approximately 3 inches away from the surface. So I'll just go. And I should have ironed the ribbon because you can see that now it's all crinkled from the, it's only from being on that too long, and you don't need to lick it because the ribbon's going to go straight through my, for this one I think I'm going to do chenille, a different chenille. I'm using Sue Spargo's ones. But I also got John James, and it's quite nice. I bought a pile of John James when I was in the UK. So, all right, that's better. It's a little bit better. I like to tie a knot. Bring the ribbon to the surface of the work. Hold the ribbon in the non-working hand. Oh, form a colonial knot. That I do not know. I'm going to go off camera and sort out my colonial knot. So I have mastered my ruched rose, so I'm very happy. So let's change the needle. Leave that there. Let's try and go for... So I worked out how to do the colonial knot, so I'll show you that in a minute. But I want to do a bit more of a different ribbon. Maybe let's do this shiny ribbon. I'll make a knot at the other end. I'll just fold the ribbon in half to put it on my needle. Oh dear. All right, let's quickly get it before it starts to fray. There we go. I'll just put that piece in the bin and tie a knot at the end. I always like to do 2 wraps. I was trying to do 1, but it was really hard. So I'm just going to get rid of those fluffy bits. So we're going to come up. I have to get my pliers. Where did I put them? That's the thing about the thicker needle. Well, she's not going to work. Let's try it again. Oh, very tough. Hopefully I haven't broken it. Nope. So we're going to come up. Oop. Pull that needle back down. Oh, my rose. Oh dear. There we go. Okay, so a colonial knot I've just seen on the YouTube channel, and so I'll show you. So you make like a backwards C, put your needle under, and then go over the top and around, and you can sort of, I don't know how she did it. Right, make a backwards C, go under and over the top, and you can see that sort of makes an 8 there, and it comes around and sort of joins that there. I might link the YouTube channel where I saw it down below, and then you stick it, and then you go backwards and forwards. 3, 4, 1 for good luck. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. So Jennifer does 4, and I've just done 1 for good luck. Pull your ribbon gently. I just like to hold that down, and it's done sort of backwards. Where you've pulled it down, you just got to go back down into the... I don't think this is going to be my perfect one, but practice makes perfect. Let's see. Whoops, a little bit wibbly wobbly. Probably didn't get my ruching done properly, but that's okay. Right, let's make another one with a different colour. Let's try it. I've done yellow, or what about this colour? Let's do this one here. So this is what are you, that's what that colour is. And we will cut off maybe that there. Oh. Thread the needle. What you can do is you go back down here to make a bit of a knot. Sometimes this works and other times it doesn't. It made the most tiniest baby knot, but that's not going to work. Nope. That's much better. Right. Let's go in here. That one didn't ruche very well, did it? Might be the thickness. So backwards C, go over and under, whoops, and there you can sort of make a little 8. Sort of there's the hole there, and then if you join that one and that one, it sort of makes an 8 there, like that. And then what does she do? Then she inserts the needle into the work. Oh no, she, once the end of the ribbon has been reached, which is your leaves and stuff, by doing this, then you just pull the ribbon on, gently pull the ribbon through, a small rose will form, secure the ribbon on the wrong side of the work to end. Right, let's see if we can do a bit bigger one. Right, secure the ribbon. Let's push our work through. Well, this one's going to be a lot nicer, I think. The only thing is I think I need to get it closer to the work because it leaves a little bit of a gap there. So, yeah, not too bad. Let's make another one over here. Let's try and do the colonial knot. Closer. That's probably what I need to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull the work through. You just have to have patience with this. And then secure your rose down the bottom. I mean, to underneath. And so there we go. We've got a ruched up rose. So I'll leave that one there, and I'm going to go and do the blue one. It doesn't matter. That's got caught in there. Actually, I can pull that out. Let's do this one here. The pink one is my favourite. This one worked really well. Right, where are we going to go with this one? Maybe up here. This can be the centre. And I can have the roses go all the way around. And I might put a little yellow centre in the middle. Right, a backward C. Go in. Over. And that makes you 8 and then down. Oh. Where are we here? Oh, now it's come out. Sorry about that. Oh no, we can't do that, can we? We've got to do the other bit. Right, you come out Right, let's start again. Backwards C, over the top and round. I'm sure it's over the top. And then under there, and make your loops for your rows. I'm not counting, so I don't actually know. So when you pull that, the top part of it becomes the underneath, I think. And then you put that back down there. Don't let your needle come out of your ribbon come out of your needle. Where are we? And then it twists around, and there it is there. So I'm going to put another one here. I shall put one Let me tie this off, the big one, so I'm not doing that again. Now, where did it go? So, I'll do one more and then I will leave you here and come back to do the last one. The last one. Right. Let's go up here. Try not to get the other one caught in. Right, make a backwards C, up, over the top and under, and then pull your work so it's tight, and then we do our, whoops, and then we do our ribbon work by going up and down through the ribbon. Now you've got to be careful because it's marking the ribbon with bigger holes. All right. I think one more to do, and then pull through. I might just go under there for a minute. I feel like it's not accurate. Just looking at her instructions. I don't know if I'm doing it right or not. I think so. This one doesn't look right. Anyway, pull it down. Looks like it's got a big thing happening. I think because it's when you poke it back down, it's got to get rid of that other extra loop. That will do. Okay, I'm going to leave it here and go and finish off my rows and maybe bring them out a little bit further, and then we'll go on to the next one, which is these here. Here I am showing you what I have done. So I have done this ruched, that's the ruched rose. This one here is the ribbon stitch. It's come out all right, but I did a second loop on the edge to just bring the edge a little bit more up, or sort of, not up, just layer the ribbon a little bit to give it a bit more texture. And then I did this, this one here was French knot, so that's a very easy thing to do. Everybody has probably either heard of it, or they do know of it. If you're not sure what French knots are, just put it in the search engine in Google and you'll get lots of tutorials on that. And now I'm on to the looped bud stitch, which is this one here. So there's her instructions for the looped bud stitch. So that's what I'm up to, but I'm just doing it a little bit different. I'm going to add a stitch at the end. She says to cast off at the back, but I'm going to do something a little bit different, which you're allowed to do. So up I come, find a pencil, try and get your ribbon as flat as you can when you bring it up. Go over there. I'm going to poke myself back down. Pull my pencil out and then hold that with my thumb, and then I'm going to come up where I went down and pinch, and not pinch, make it a little bit bigger, and come up underneath the two ribbons like that. Well, you can't see, sorry. And then pull it through so it's holding the two ribbons, hopefully. Did I get it? No, I only got one, so let's just pull that undone. Now this has got a bit of sticky tape on the end, and it held the ribbon together. So what am I doing? I'm pulling that back down. Rethread my ribbon. It's got a bit of sticky stuff on it, so I folded it over to close off the ribbon. I thought that was a good idea. Right, let's find our loop. I'll use the blunt end of the ribbon, the needle. So bring that up, put your finger in there, and then get your pencil and pull on the ribbon. Needs to be pulled slightly. Now when you undo it, you've got to be careful. There's a slight tear in the ribbon, so that's the only thing you have to be careful with the ribbon. Just put it in the, face it in the direction that you want it to go in, and then try and come up with the two ribbons. Yep, I did it that time, so that's good. And then all I'm going to do is just go back down to anchor the ribbon. And there we have it. So I'm going to continue on here and maybe turn your work around so you can have it go in different directions. Now that's laying flat that way. So I'm going to just leave it there and go down. I thought ribbon work was going to be quite a bit of a tedious task, or you had to make sure that it was perfect, but it actually doesn't need to be perfect. Pull that ribbon, I think. These stand up a little bit. So again, try and lay my two ribbons flat together, up through there. Because if you don't anchor it, it's going to pull right through like it did before when I pulled out the mistake. So there we go. So I'm going to continue all the way down to about here, and then I will come back. Let me show you what I've been doing. I left you with this one here, so I finished that now. I really like that. And I just did a little bit different. Like I said, I did the loop, and then I just did just one stitch down just to hold it down, so that looks all a little bit fluffy. And then over here I did a very short fly stitch, just I don't even know. I don't have a flower for it. I just made it up. And I'll bring it a bit closer. Hope you can see. That's better. Sorry about that. And then the orange one, I just did stem stitch around in a loop. And then I've just done some French knots. So it's not a particular flower at all. I just wanted to show you what I was doing. I'll just thread this up. So all I'm going to do is come up. Where are we here? Come up here. That's the problem when you've got a short ribbon, it comes out. And a long needle. Come up there. And what I like to do is when it gets a bit short and I want to use the rest of that, I just still continue on with my needle. 1, 2, 3 wraps. Straight down. And then I get my ribbon. And I do this with thread as well. And just poke it through so I don't waste the thread. The ribbon, sorry. And pull that down to a French knot. And then I'm going to come up and do one more. I hope I've got enough. Should do. Pull that up. 1, 2, 3, or just enough. Let me have a look. I need to put my glasses back on. You just get it in the right position. 1, 2, 3. Is it going to go down? Sometimes if you push it on the table like that, it will. And then it's very short. I'll just give it a bit of a wet it with my fingers. Maybe not. We'll see. I will do it. I just have to be patient. If it takes too long, I'll just go off camera. There we go. And just stretch it slightly. Right, I'm going to turn it over. Sorry about that. And sorry about that. The dogs are barking too loud. Find my pliers. Oh, right, there we go. Got it. And that's not going to go anywhere. I might just actually add a little bit of glue to that. Who's being noisy? There's no one here. Come on, Mr. Glue. I think it's dried up a little bit. I haven't used it. Now I can't get the lid open. Oh my goodness. That's because there's hardly anything in there. Right, I'm going to get the needle. I'm going to wipe over there and just glue that down. Just wipe my needle. And I'm going to turn my, oh, my glue's got stuck in the thing. Turn my glue upside down. I could have used basting glue as well. All right, so that's finished there. That's done there. Just tie a little knot. I will worry about that later. So the flowers are done. Now I do have an extra stem here. I think I need to finish that off. So what I will do is get my thread. I used this green here. Or was it this one here? I think it was this one here. I will do that and then I'll come back and I'll finish that off and then I'll come back and start on this one. So I have finished the basket, not the basket, the vase with flowers, and all I did was stem stitch, and I did lazy daisies with a little bit of yellow in, and I finished everything else. And I finished the name, and I put a love heart, and now I'm just about to do some swells in this colour here. And I think I'm just going to do stem stitch. I enjoy stem stitch for this type of thing. Stem stitch is not too difficult to do. Sometimes I don't always get it right, but I'm not worried. It still turns out pretty good to me. Just make sure that sometimes you've got to swap over your curves, because at the moment it's travelling on this side, but when I go over, say, on that side, I have to move that on the opposite side and come round this way to keep it over that side, if that makes any sense. So now there, so I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to keep this working thread on that side. For me, it works better when you're travelling around the corner. I'm trying to get it as thin as I can. I could have used another thread from Jennifer Clouston. Where have I got those? No, they're the same. That's what I'm using. No, this would have been nice, a bit thinner, but it wasn't in the right colour. So I'm just using what I've got. I think I might come back in and put some French knots in the circles. Oh, Charlie, what are you doing? I don't know what I've done here. Just let me thread this back up. I'll do one more stem stitch, and then I will see how that looks. I'm trying to keep with the theme of ribbon. Okay. What I might do is I have a little bit of this left over, so I'm going to use this. I'm not going to be worried about the creases in it because it's all going to get creased up anyway. So let's take that out and see how this looks. Doesn't look too bad. Reminds me of a little bit of Christmas, but I like it. So I'll leave that one in there. I will tie this one off. I think I've tied it off. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 to go. So what I'll do is I'll leave you here. You know the process, the outcome of this, and I will come back with all the ribbons stitched on. So here I am finished. Like I said, I finished the June and I did some swirls and then I put some reddish and then I ran out of that. So then I decided to do purple. I don't know if you can see. Oh, yep. And then on the back is that. So that actually complements the front, I think, really well. So I'm very happy with my June calendar piece, and I look forward to seeing what you're making. You can go onto my Sewbits Facebook group and put your makes up there, pictures, so I can see them and everybody else in the group. You just got to answer some questions, and Pat is part of the administration for that group, so thank you, Pat, for doing that. And I look forward to doing my July one. Thanks very much. Bye for now.